here we have one of the islands that are around the Grand, and in fact all the islands in the Gran Canaria Islands.
Yeah. That's like, so the islands are the peak of that.
So this is the island, and this is a huge trillion-ton landslide that come from the northwest, as in the north of America. And so there's evidence to say that each of these islands have had massive, that's from a tsunami coming across and impacting the island in age times, and parts of the island have literally, and this debris from the island that has smashed off is strewn out across the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean for up to 60 miles. Because that's the powerful pullback of what that tsunami was. So it ripped some of the Canary Islands literally in half and strew the thing at the bottom across. And also what it did at the same time was this is what happened on West Africa. So this is where all the Canary Islands are. That the green is where the West Africa, and that's the sea. So the like red spotty stuff, that is the debris that's coming off the islands where they've been smashed and stuff. And then around that as well, you've got mud shoals. This has kind of made me think, if anyone's expecting to just sort of look underground and see like a perfectly sunken kind of collapsed building
where they all live,
that's not going to be the case. The amount of if you look at the Atlantic floor from a geological point of view, it has been the target of a huge multiple tsunami. And they can also say that this is not one thing that did it. It was multiple tsunamis, which line up with the Younger Dryas because it was periods of comets and tsunamis and whatnot.
But how would you going to apply that now to this thing that became obvious to me? Because the tradition of Atlantis was like almost like Atlanteans were good people and good guys, but they're the villains in the story. They were good, but they went bad, and Athens stayed good, but they were small. But Athens was also went, and Athens, as far as my research is so far, Athens goes back 3,000 and a bit years. And matter of fact, they say that about Egypt, of course, but you say that goes much. Egypt would go much more back.
It could do.
Whatever destroyed Athens, and by the way, in the story, he's actually saying something that actually is very impertinent. He's saying, and you can still see today these things, which shows you I'm telling you the truth about Athens, ancient Athens, 9,000-year Athens, which nobody that I know would ever believes is real. So the thing is, if you've got these other places that have been found, I would have expected an ancient Athens by now to have absolutely been discovered, and therefore you look for the ancient. You should have had all these crazy people instead of looking for Atlantis and Atlantic Ocean. Let's look for ancient Athens. You find ancient Athens that goes 9,000 years. You think, oh my gosh, they were at war with this other place. Maybe we should look in the ocean.
Well,
where's this Athens?
Okay, well here's the reason. Pompeii, as an example, Pompeii wasn't found because it was perfectly buried under 30 feet of mud, of a mud shoal.